the most dangerous sign in a person according to Carl Jung, stay alert. Have you ever encountered someone who seemed completely calm, collected, well-spoken, even generous, yet somehow left you feeling uneasy? What if the true danger in people isn't found in outbursts of rage or blatant hostility, but in something far more elusive? Carl Jung, the renowned Swiss psychiatrist, suggested that a particular trait, often hidden right in front of us, marks the most dangerous type of person. It's not the type of behavior we instinctively fear, like aggression or dishonesty. In fact, the threat may often appear as someone composed and even charming. That's precisely what makes it so difficult to recognize until it's too late. In this video, we're going to delve into Jung's profound psychological theories and uncover the warning signs you should always pay attention to. By the end, you might begin to see certain people in an entirely new way. Before we dive deeper, be sure to subscribe to the Brainy Daily Clips channel and join our community for early access to fresh videos and insights on personal development. Let's begin by understanding Jung's perspective on the human psyche. Jung believed that every individual wears a mask, a social persona designed for external interactions. But underneath that mask is the unconscious mind, a vast realm filled with suppressed emotions, instincts, and universal archetypes. One key part of this hidden dimension is what Jung referred to as the shadow, the collection of traits we refuse to accept about ourselves. Jung argued that this shadow doesn't simply emerge from societal pressures, it's a product of the tension between who we are and who we think we should be. As children, we internalize what is considered acceptable, lovable, or praiseworthy. Traits that don't fit these ideals, such as vulnerability, anger, ambition, or independence, are quietly repressed. Over time, we come to identify with the parts of ourselves that earn external approval, leaving the rest of us to be pushed away. However, this disowned part of ourselves doesn't simply disappear, it lingers, dormant but active beneath the surface, influencing our behaviors, reactions, and perceptions in ways we don't realize. This silent force is what makes the shadow both significant and dangerous when left unexplored. What makes it especially potent is that it isn't inherently evil. It's simply unacknowledged. It carries our suppressed impulses, our fears, our envies, and even our hidden talents. When we fail to face these elements, they become distorted. People who deny their shadow often project it onto others, blaming the outside world for the very issues they refuse to confront within themselves. Jung saw this as a ticking time bomb, one that can go off at any moment. Let's explore what happens when the shadow is ignored or completely repressed. When someone denies their darker impulses, those feelings do not go away. Instead, they retreat into the unconscious, gathering strength and waiting to emerge. Jung cautioned that what's not brought to consciousness will inevitably play out as fate. In other words, the more we avoid acknowledging our flaws, the more these flaws will control our lives from the shadows. The unconscious doesn't merely store repressed emotions, it actively shapes them. Jung argued that the unconscious is not a passive container, but an active force that molds our behaviors. When parts of ourselves are denied, they don't stay dormant. Instead, they mutate, seeking expression through indirect and often harmful means. The more we suppress these disowned traits, the more irrational and symbolic their manifestation becomes. Nightmares, compulsive behaviors, irrational fears, and self-sabotaging tendencies are all ways the shadow may attempt to breach the surface of our consciousness. Jung believed that ignoring these signals only makes things worse. The longer they're left unchecked, the more they escalate, pushing the person either toward a breakdown or a breakthrough. A person who represses their shadow may appear calm and collected outwardly, but their inner world tells a very different story. Over time, the tension between their external image and their internal reality creates a pressure that must be released. Sometimes this pressure manifests as emotional outbursts, other times as sarcasm, control, or subtle cruelty disguised as concern. These individuals often don't understand why they sabotage their own relationships or feel persistently unfulfilled. But at the core, it's always the same cause, a shadow left unexamined. This dynamic becomes especially dangerous when paired with another illusion, one that Jung identified as even more insidious, the belief in moral superiority. Jung warned that the most dangerous individuals are often not the overtly hostile or violent ones. They are the ones who see themselves as entirely virtuous, spiritually elevated, or fundamentally good. When a person sees themselves as morally pure, they lose the ability to reflect on their own actions and behavior, They become blind to their own flaws. What makes this moral superiority so dangerous is that it shields them from self-reflection. Those who are convinced of their own goodness may justify manipulative actions as helping, control as protection, or even cruelty as tough love. Their actions may appear ethical on the surface, but beneath it lies a hidden agenda, the avoidance of their own shadow. Jung believed that the more someone clings to their image of moral superiority, the more likely they are to unconsciously act out its opposite. This happens precisely because they've buried the awareness of that opposite within themselves. So what ties all of this together? What is the invisible thread running through these dangerous behavioral patterns? Jung provided us with a chilling answer. But before we dive into that, if this video has resonated with you or made you think differently about yourself or others, consider sharing it with someone who might benefit from these ideas. If you'd like to support us at Brainy Daily Clips and help us to keep creating valuable content like this, you can click the like button below so YouTube will also share the video with more people. Your support means a lot to us. Now let's return to Jung's most alarming insight. According to Carl Jung, the most dangerous sign in a person is the complete denial of their shadow. When someone refuses to acknowledge their own potential for wrongdoing, when they believe they are incapable of anger, cruelty, or deception, they become unpredictable and dangerous. It's not the presence of darkness in a person that makes them dangerous. It's the denial of it. Those who are aware of their flaws are often more trustworthy because they recognize their potential for harm and take steps to avoid it. But those who refuse to admit to having a shadow are blind to their own behavior. They justify everything they do, rationalize their actions, and leave a trail of confusion in their wake, never understanding the role they played in any given situation. In Jung's view, this isn't just a psychological flaw, it's a form of spiritual blindness. So next time you meet someone who insists they're always kind, always moral, always right, pause and ask yourself, what are they not seeing in themselves? The answer might be what keeps you safe. Now let's explore 3 more subtle but important signs that someone may be in denial of their shadow and how these behaviors manifest. Sign number 1. They only offer help with conditions. People who deny their shadow often appear extremely helpful, but their help comes with strings attached. Whether it's emotional manipulation or controlling behavior, the help they offer may come with an unspoken expectation, creating a subtle power dynamic where they are always in control. Sign number 2, they project a perfect image while hiding vulnerability. Those who deny their shadow tend to project an image of perfection, constantly striving to be seen as flawless. However, they often suppress their own vulnerabilities, never allowing themselves to show weakness or need, as it would expose the darker, more human parts they refuse to acknowledge. Sign 3. They are quick to judge others for traits they despise in themselves. One of the most subtle signs that someone is unaware of their shadow is their tendency to harshly judge others for qualities they themselves possess but cannot accept. They may criticize others for being selfish or manipulative while being blind to their own similar tendencies. If these insights have sparked reflection or challenged the way you see others, or even yourself, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. And if you're interested in diving deeper into the complexities of the human mind, don't forget to subscribe to Brainy Daily Clips. Because the more we explore the depths of others, the more we inevitably discover about the depths of our own souls.